Hey, movie fans. So the first thing I want to talk about is this trailer that came out for a movie called The Last Voyage of the Demeter. I thought this looks really great. It's going to be a Dracula movie where the story's going to revolve around them transferring Dracula on the boat to where he's going to go. And I think it just looks really creepy, scary, intense. And for me, it hasn't been a great vampire movie in a long time, especially a Dracula movie. Like I enjoy Dracula Untold. Like I know a lot of people hate that movie. But I thought it was okay. It was like fun. It's not great. It's not like one of the most memorable monster movies, but I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. But that's only been a great R-rated like vampire movie in a while. That's like scary. And I love the look of Dracula in the trailer for this. It was kind of like a bat slash monster, and the setting I love because of the idea. You're in a closed setting, so I feel like there'll be some great tension. And I like the tone of it, where it looks darker, creepier. And also, this hasn't been a great vampire movie in a long time. Not just a Dracula movie, but just a great vampire movie in a long time. So I'm excited for this movie. I highly recommend people check out this trailer. It looks really good in my opinion. I'm hoping this is going to be one of the better vampire movies, like a great one that we've had in a while. The next thing I want to talk about is news of the directors of Scream 5 and 6 reuniting with the actors who plays Sam, the main character in those two movies, for a monster movie at Universal. I think this is exciting, great news because I love Scream 5. I haven't seen Scream 6 yet, and I haven't seen anything outside of Scream 5 that they directed. But I love the actress who plays Sam. I thought she was great in Scream 5, and she's also in The Heist, which is another movie that I love. They've already done a horror movie, so I think this is like exciting news. I would love to see like how they would do a monster movie. They haven't said like what it is. It's like untitled right now, but I think there would be a great choice to do like a horror monster movie. Next thing I want to talk about is there's news that a Robocop movie and a Stargate movie and TV shows, both of those things will happen at some point. Whoever owns them right now, the rights. I'll say this: Stargate one is one I'm least interested in, and that's only because I'm not like familiar with Stargate all that much. Like I'm not like familiar with the like. I never watched any of the shows of Stargate. I've seen one Stargate movie, which was a Kurt Russell one, which I thought was fun, but it wasn't most memorable. So the reason I'm not excited is because I don't know much about Stargate. So, but RoboCop, I loved the original RoboCop movie. The sequel sucked, 2 and 3. Wasn't a fan of the remake, but I really hope, since it sounds like it won't be for a while, I really hope they get the franchise back on track because that original movie is just a great all-rated movie. And I just hope they get like a great story and they get a great person to play the main character. Definitely make it all the way instead of PG-13 like the remake was. But yeah, I hope this is one of those remakes that's like reboots. I mean, that's like turns out to be a great movie and reunites the franchise. But I'm excited for a new RoboCop movie. The next thing I want to talk about is Super Mario Bros. Animated movie. I love the fact I'm so happy the fact this movie's made like I think it's made like 79. Because even though I didn't love this movie, and it's not going to be one of my favorite movies, and I don't think it's one of the best video game movies. Definitely one of the better ones, and for me, better than the original Mario Bros. Movie. But I'm just happy it's doing well because it's a fun movie. It deserves to make money. I will say this though, the idea of doing a Nintendo universe, because I know Chris Pratt has talked about this and all of them and any of these actors. I would love to see this, but because this movie's obviously going to get a sequel, and I think they're going to try to do the Nintendo universe based on other properties. I just hope though, and a fun time with this movie, but I hope they improve from the mistakes of this movie. Like I do want to see a better story in the sequel, and if you do other movies based on other Nintendo game movies, I do want to see just better scripts when you do these movies because I had fun with this movie, but it's definitely I think the story could have been better, and obviously maybe felt like it could have been longer. So I hope I'm excited for the Nintendo universe, excited for the sequel, but I just hope they learn from the mistakes of the first movie. Because I think you can make a great universe out of all these Nintendo games. The next thing I want to talk about is why I think Superman Legacy is the most important DC movie in the DC's new universe when it starts in 2025. And the reason I'm going to go with that to make it the most important then is that this is going to be the first film done on the DC Studios where Warner Brothers gave DC its own studio, so that's exciting. The fact that this is going to be the first movie done by James Gunn of him in charge of the DC Universe, that's really going to set the tone, show what this new DC Universe is going to be. And other than why this is important is because I've been at Marvel. Marvel Cinematic Universe is like a TV show, in my opinion. You want that first episode to set to have people hooked. You want people to come out of that first episode going like, "Oh man, I can't wait to see the next then." And that's what Superman Legacy needs to do. I think the fact James Gunn is writing and directed personally himself shows how much he really wants to make sure this movie lands. And that's not. And I want to bring up Man of Steel. I think the difference between one of the things that helped out big with Marvel. And look, whether you hate Man of Steel, whether you enjoy it like me, or you love it, whatever you feel in one of those three categories. When you look at the difference between Iron Man and Man of Steel for DC, what was DC's first movie for this past DC universe, and what was the MCU's first movie. And yes, the first Iron Man movie had a lower budget; it was a lesser known character. But here's the thing: like I said, if you love Man of Steel, that's fine. But I'm going to put on a comparison here is the fact that when Man of Steel came out, it didn't perform as well as they hoped it would at the box office. And also, Man of Steel got a very divisive response. And that was the difference there, is that I don't think the DC universe, this past DC universe started off like the MCU did, where everybody loved the first Iron Man. Like, people came out of the first Iron Man movie, it was a critical hit with critics, audience, financially it made a lot of money. And it was like, to me, a great example of how to start a universe. Where you come out of the first movie going like, oh, I love it and I can't wait to see what they do next. But as Man of Steel, people came out of that movie, when people came out of that movie divisive about it. There were people that either hate Man of Steel, people that were either in the middle, or people that love it. Actually, most of the time, the response to that movie was like what Last Jedi had with Star Wars, where people either really, really hate that movie or people either really, really love that movie. There's very few I hear when people was in between like me with that movie. But that's the thing that makes Superman Legacy so important, in my opinion, is that you want to feel like that first Iron Man movie for MCU. You want to come out of the movie like, oh man, I can't wait to see what DC does next. So they definitely have to land this movie, in my opinion. And they have to do a better job this time of really making this, like, coming out of this movie, having people feel like, oh, this is the DC universe. I can't wait to see what they do next. Not coming out feeling like, like half the people loved it, half the people hated it. Because I think that's what one of the things I hope the past DC universe was that it did get off to a rocky start. It wasn't as well received as MCU when they did the first Iron Man movie, where they got off to a great start. But yeah, I think that's why Superman Legacy is the most important DC movie, and why I think that's why James Gunn is writing and directing it personally, because he wants to make sure he lands this movie. And that's what I want to talk about. And this will be the last topic. Is that, look, I know there's a lot of people here out there, and I know people can get pissed off, and I know I have to say this in a way that's not going to piss off people. Is that, look, I know there's a lot of people that didn't like the first Captain Marvel movie. Well, they were lukewarm on it. And I definitely get that. If you have criticisms towards a movie that's actual criticisms about the plot, acting, characters, tone, comedy, whatever your actual criticisms towards a movie based on a movie level, and yeah, I definitely understand why it's not, why a lot of people didn't love it or lukewarm on it or hated it. But the fact is, the Marvel trailer has gotten so many dislikes, and I totally understand. I definitely understand disliking a trailer if the trailer didn't do it for you. Like, I can definitely understand why a lot of people didn't like the trailer for the Marvels, or just didn't think it was funny, or it just didn't do anything for you, story, character wise, tone wise. But I do find it kind of annoying that you know, I don't hate Brie Larson. I don't have a problem with her. I know a lot of people do based on that one comment she said a few years ago, and a lot of people just seem to really dislike her. Um, but if you're disliking a trailer because you don't like, because your reason for disliking a trailer is because you don't like strong women characters, that to me is just kind of like annoying. I'm just like, who cares if you have strong female characters in movies? If you dislike a trailer because there's actual reasons for disliking the trailer, with it, like I said, when it comes to the tone of the trailer, with the comedy not working for you, you're not excited because you didn't like the first one based on a movie level. Then I get that. Yeah, you should dislike a trailer if it didn't hit you if it didn't hit you in a way that works for you on those levels. But if you're just disliking the trailer because you don't like strong female lead characters, that's where I kind of like just think you're being a bit of a dick. And no offense, it's like, got anything better to do? Like, just like a trailer because it's just not working for you on a movie level. There's been plenty of strong female characters, and I find this funny because you had older movies like Terminator 2, Alien Aliens back then, but people never got annoyed by like you had those movies led by strong female characters. So again, I'm just saying like I find that to be kind of like if you're disliking a trailer on that side or just because it's a strong female led movie, I find that to be kind of dumb and a little like this makes you look kind of like a big baby if you're a guy. Like so yeah, I just wanted to say that about the whole like the Marvels getting a lot of dislikes. Like I said, I get it on a level of a film level. If you didn't like the first movie, what the trailer just didn't do for you, and it didn't make you excited. I totally get that. It's just people, guys need to get over the fact you have movies sometimes come out that have strong female leads, strong female leads. Like just get over it. It's wait till you see the movie, and if you think the movie's shit, then okay. If the trailer didn't work for you, then dislike the trailer based on the level of just the tone and characters, and you don't like the first one, so you're not excited, or the trailer just didn't land for you. But dislike the trailer just based on the fact it has a strong female lead character is where I get kind of annoyed, and just makes you look like a big baby as a guy. So that's all I'd say about that. This is my personal thoughts. Please don't. I know people are gonna get probably angry for me saying this stuff, but I'm just giving my thoughts on the subject. Until next time, movie lovers.